aadama bu ne yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dundi doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni du indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wérgu yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wérgu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génnee fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gat granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génnee lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sellate óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wérgu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doom
Welcome to another edition of This Morning. I am Jenna Bosonko, joined by my amazing co-host Ibrahim Balde, talking about the fact that we have a lot of newspapers in front of us today.
Yes, a lot of newspapers, but I mean, whether interesting or not, sometimes they have a dry.
Sometimes I'm going to repeat. Come you broadcast, sometimes dry, right? Sometimes it's newspapers. Probably they get to struggle.
Despite it is dry, but we will try to at least see something out of it.
And it can be dry to us, dry because what might be news to you might not be news to someone else.
Exactly.
So that also matters. So thank you so much, Lamin Fall, for joining us here to delve into the African proverb as well as the newspaper review. It's always good to have you here.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yes. So like I mentioned, we have the African proverb, we have the newspaper review, and we will be talking about Sukuta empty market. So this is how the Sukuta market, which is to this point, has been funded by the Gambian Women's Federation and was opened years ago. The market is still struggling to attract both vendors and buyers. So people prefer to sell and buy elsewhere due to the incompletion of the structure. So we'll be joined by a representative, Fatou Ju from Gambia Women's Federation, to actually further educate us in relation to the problems that they're going through right now at that particular Sukuta market we are talking about. So don't forget that One Stop Water Solution is part of our partners for all your water filters, dispensers, Ibrahima.
Yes.
And the list goes on. Head right on to One Stop Water Solution for all of these needs. So tey nag dama teel a olofal parce que proverbe olof lañ am.
Waaw te olof bu xóot la de.
Dafa xaw a xóot.
Waaw bii du olof bi olof bu xóot la.
Wate ñu wax te lii nekk na loo xam ne dañ ko dee wax every day.
Soo seetee African proverb bi. Comme ma ne la ne olof bu xóot la.
Waaw
mu ne ndanka mooy jàpp golo si ñay.
Si ñay. waaye am na ñu dee woon ndanka mooy jàppa golo si guy.
waaw waaye at some point soo déggee ñu ne
ndanka mooy jàppa jaan.
soo ñaay kan bi ala.
Ñaay is elephant.
waaw. ñaay du ñaay. xam nga ñaay mooy lu rëy. waaye bii ñaay la.
Let's wolof.
mooy bush bi daal comme ala daal.
NAAY ñaay.
waaw ñaay. Hanga ñay fona moy
ñay is elephant.
Elephant, wow,
elephant. Yeah.
So okay.
Ñay.
So what is ñay? The other
ñay is jumping over something.
Ñay, wa nga ñay dara.
Topmir or something.
Ndanka moy japa golo si ñay.
Yeah, because monkeys they ñay.
Waaw wa ñay bi bush bi la min de.
Ñay.
Bi minut ñay de, ñay si bopam.
Okay.
B means ñay means the bush.
The bush itself.
Wow, bush bi si bopam.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
Why buñ waxon ndanka moy japa golo si ala bi. Daf doon tane
si ñay.
Golo si ala la dika.
Monkeys are known for climbing. You know, and jumping over things. So ñay bi fogg na lolu la mean.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think lolu la mean. Because
this
is what monkeys do. ñom non len
waaye man soo
waaye olof yi dégg ñu ne ñaay bi mooy lii de mooy aala mooy forest
kon bété
ba
waaye ba léegi tam li nga wax ni mun naa applicable
mooy jàppa golo si ñaay
waaw
man I'm not still convinced because dafa mel ni su golo su ñaayut doo ko mun a jàppa te golo mun ngaa ne ndanka mooy jàppa golo rek foog naa loolu moo gën a appropriate sax ndanka
waaye xam nga tamit si biir aala soo fa defut ndanka doo jàppa golo bi de parce que golo dafa moyaalu
exactly
di téye si branche si di daw di dem fu nekk yow mënuloo def loolu soo xam nga kooku foog nga time ko nga def ndanka bañ ko grab
ku yootu du saxat
comme it's the same thing
nga yootu pour ma jàppa rek nga
so if you make noise or you do something xam nga doo mën a can you grab it?
You cannot grab.
So tell us a scenario now.
This is similar to Kuyoto do Sahat.
So tell us a scenario.
This is very funny. I don't think I even have a scenario.
You don't have a scenario where nga buga achieve dara nga def ndanka ben ko jot. Okay, let me start with you.
It happens. Why dafa bari? I mean, you cannot mention.
Wow, why hej na dina am situation bo xamne.
Choose ben sa manela ne bi la buga because du bari la.
Anyway, why generally it simply means ne comme nit ki amna yo xamne so ko def you have to take your time. There are certain processes you have to take your time to be able to achieve them. You have to be patient to be able to get certain things. So patient to rek it's the fast slip. Dang ko lose comme golo bi nga def ndanka ben ko jot because you xam nga ne it's dafa gaaw. So you foog nga take sa time to be able to achieve certain things.
The proverb is telling you to be patient.
Kese.
Take your time.
Mun na mo nekk loo xam ne sax yaa ko moom wala mu nekk loo xam ne yoo sure ne di nga ko mun a am waaye soo defutee ndanka doo ko am so it's just telling you to take your time loo mun ti def rek nga bàyyi sa xel bu baax a baax nga def ndanka ba affaire yi mu mun a ñëw sa loxo.
Why do you believe in the ideology of ndanka and you know lii man maa ko moom lii
or you still have to be patient even if you know
ne yaa ko moom make mistakes
at some point soo defee ndanka keneen dina ko
waxuñ ndanka boo xam ne because ndanka minute ne comme yow da nga deliberately slow down sa pace pour nga mun a am dara waaye ndanka mooy measure sa risk nga assess bu baax sa tànka yooyu tegu
you're basically calculating every move you're taking
te move bi calculation bi sax mun naa far gaaw waaye ba léegi teg nga sa time pour def ndanka ba nga bëgg achieve goal boobu noonu
proper planning lam require
exactly because there are certain things pour nga achieve ko da nga war a gaaw in the sense of some moves the things that you do but to for the same ndanka mooy da nga ko calculate
waaye mun ngaa gaaw sa fekk ba tey ndanka nga ko nekk di
process bi
dafa depend si yow naka nga planer sa bopp pour achieve loolu noonu si boppam so basically loolu la rek gaaw ba tey mun na moo nekk ndanka dafa different rek si nit yi naka leen koo interpréter basically
I think it's different interpretation.
For the proverb mom for me it's just taking your time in whatever you're doing and making sure that you don't rush.
So did you ever have to ndanka extra ndanka to achieve something loo xam ne di nga mun a wane dëgg you really took your time pour nga mun koo am?
Naturally, I do ndanka as a person because it's very difficult for me to make certain decisions. I can be very indecisive, very indecisive. So it takes time before mamuna jël decision, and sometimes I might even, which is very bad by the way, I might even rely on people's opinion in order to make my own decision, which is bad, and I have to work on it. But yeah, this is just to say that I always take my time before I do certain things, and I make sure I get inputs from a lot of people, weigh them together, and make my final decision based on inputs you have that I'm nako from different people. You have you focus on different things, but still the same thing they are saying could apply to whatever I am about to do.
Man,
so
personally,
is always what I do.
Sometimes people say she's strong-headed, but think me more, it's about sometimes decisions you have really, you have to make it for yourself. But I'm happy about the fact that at least I'm gonna a list of advisors you have they're there.
Definitely,
it doesn't mean that la force, but you dinga dem si ñoom it's important. Man sa ñooñu exist nañ am na decisions yu ma jël dama ne am na ñu ma war a waxal de am na ñu nekk suma gannaaw de foog ma wax ak ñoom ñooñu dinañ ma mun a wax su ko defee man suma boppam ma toog wees suma options
it's always good to do
it's not necessarily xëy na soo waree def dara da ngaa seek validation wala dara waaye individual bu nekk dafa important rek nga am si ñooy gestu am si ñooy seet pour nga war a mun a def dara
true I strongly agree
so Ibrahima yow nag
waaw
you just take decisions wala dafa am si ñoo dee dem pour nga jël seen input
waaw I mean man mostly balaa maa def dara I have people that I talk to ñoom tam ñu advise ma nit ku nekk da nga war a am loolu it's very important you should not just take decisions on your own be it your wife be it your parents be it your friend you know dafa important pour nga am ki nga xam ne daf laa advise because ñu ne two heads are better than one you know so loolu la but I mean sometimes it's good for you to take dafa am yenn decisions tam yi nga xam ne duñ dee xaar advisor you need to take it
déedéet dafa am yenn decisions yoo xam ne you're not also proud of them xam nga loolu yow doo ko wax kenn yow da ngaa toog sa bopp
waaw yooyu da ngaa noppi
déedéet yooyu doo dee wax you know waaw am daf dee am there are things that man I'm experiencing or there are things yoo xam ne I have to proud ma si ama te loolu rek warut nit ki sa as an individual waruloo mun a am dara loo xam ne sax waruloo ko mun a share ak kenn always war ngaa mun a am sa safe space waaye comme dafa war a am that one person koo xam ne yow you're safe around waaye jamono moo toolu foo xam ne nit yi safeatuñ mental health prioritizing ko because yow sometimes you're going through certain things koo fee waxal yow koy waxal sa moo laa njëkk a buli yow ki nga war a waxal mu jàppale la pour nga safeguard sa mental health moo laa njëkk a wane yow lii am na
mu ne la ne yow da nga ma disappoint
waaw wala yow
suma foog ne war nga mun ngaa def li
exactly wala borom ne la lii am na comme the person might not know what that is and all of that you know loolu yëpp daf dee mën a possible and I'm speaking out of experience lii dama ko dee dëgëral all the time and am na ku ma laaj mu ne ma yow this mental health issues I'm not saying I have mental health issues I'm just saying but mental health mi noonu dam da nga dof
no we all
sometimes daf dee mën a nekk ñun ñëpp am nañ xalaat
we all get traumatized at some point
ku nekk koo gis mu ngi am loo xam ne bugguloo keneen yëg ko
but man suma sañoon
anxiety
waaye suma sañoon ma mun a am individual comme
koy waxal
xam nga lu tax mindset bi yow si koy dem sa moo laa njëkk a buli ne la yow lii kon am na wala yow loolu rek
there is a secret that I will share
waaw
I am a young person yes but man soo bàyyee xel most of my friends are older people ñoo xam ne ñoo ma mag they can even double my age
right
so these are people ñoo xam ne soo demee pour nga wax leen seen problem they will not judge you because this is something that they've been through ñoom experience nañ ko ba pare so they're in a better position pour ñu jox la advice waaye man tey su ma waree ñëw si yow mais ne dama laa wax suma issue we are the same age you might not have experience loo xam ne man experience naa ko so it will be very difficult pour yow nga advice me as regards what I can do or even make an opinion the first thing you would probably do is be judgmental about it te sax doo ko tey so it's always also good to keep company ñoo xam ne ñoo la gën a experience ñoo la mag that way you always know ne kii nii su ma demee si moom dinaa mun a waxtaan ak moom te nekk na loo xam ne moom jaar na fa that is how I go man
waaye xam nga de certain experiences yoo xam ne miinul ne individual bi daf ko dunda waaye anyway
but they will still have a knowledge about it nga xam ne neen la mun a because ñoom ñoo leen jikka si àdduna ñoo la gën a am experience def neen loo xam ne defuloo ko jaar neen foo jaarut so they are always in a better position to talk to you
anyway man li ma wax rek mooy na leen jàppalante because people are going through a lot fii nit ñi dañoo eewu suba man sometimes ma eewu suba ma feel ne bëggum I don't even want to sit here you know tey yow tamit
talk to anyone
exactly nga feel noonu so nit ñi dañ war a really seetante check out for people because they don't actually know what people are going through and it's a taboo to even come out ngay wax ne man dama am lu ma disturb loolu rek boo ko waxee Lamin Fall ñu enu la yóbbu la
nit koo gis ne
dégg ñi fi tubaab la
waaw
dafa yab wala ñu ne la kii sax daf ñu yab
o nit wax la affaire am nga ree ko
yombut
daf ñu yab which is funny
yombut daal nañ ko waxee noonu it's crazy
waaye xam nga tam soo seetee comme society bi nuñ ko setopee society bi moo mel noonu waaye other countries da ngaa gis ku ñëw mu seya you know tubaab bi dañoo seya dañoo waxtaan
non waaye xam nga du benn fii tey boo fi Lamin Fall am na lu moo wax tey Balde tey Lamin Fall bu ko taxaw parlement bal da taxaw fële ne kii sa waxoon na ma lii kii nii la mel kii sa lii ya ko jot loolu lañ fi dee gis du xaaj du jeesoo nit ñi ñemañatuñ anyway loolu la rek
very true
waaw loolu la sax waaye anyway African proverb bi tey daf dee baax ñu olofal man dama dee olofal
bi am na ci solo am na ci solo bu baax a baax
so we'll now go for a short commercial break and when we come back we'll head right on to the newspaper review. Do stay tuned.
Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75 and $100 and pay later. Yes, you heard me right. Get credit loan from $10 to $100 using eFunkanta by dialing *393#. Anytime you run out of credit, whether you want to buy Q-Power, browse the internet, make urgent calls, or send SMS. eFunkanta is the service for you. Dial *393# and choose the loan amount of your choice with no hassle. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus, the pioneers of mobile loan service in the Gambia. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And now we're heading right on to the newspaper review. Staying at a newspaper a bit dry for you.
Newspaper are dry.
But it might be news to them.
All right, thank you very much. Let's look at the Voice newspaper. GTU president accuses insurance companies of scam. And of course, Ja Oil manager denies allegation over low quality supply. I mean, people always talk about this. KMC warns against issuing fake trade license. And of course, 19-year-old girl arrested with suspected cannabis in Mandina by Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Warulo, girl.
Why girl be you for the set?
Mostly this is attributed to men.
Not necessarily. Hamuñ ko use tamet.
You know, Casamas uprising displaced over 13,000 people. Jungler by law to go on trial in Germany.
The feminists in jail.
No, that's not the case. I'm just assuming. We have to balance things. It's important that we balance
Bini gal lañ wote. Suñ waxon gentleman ma xamne goor lañ wo way bi gal la de.
Anyway, man, I'm not there to judge. Ñom dinañ investigate su ko defé dinañ wax. Foria, you have Foria there. I have Foria here. And the Justice Minister vows prosecution for some perpetrators. And lectures for UTG students conducted under Neem 3. And also KMC warns against issuance of fake trade license. And 13 alleged scammers face 3 criminal charges. And governor dismisses rumor of appointment of new governor.
All right. Let's take a look at the Standard. Government.
That's the Voice, is it?
The Standard. This is the Standard.
We can take a look at the Voice.
We already.
Oh, we already did. You have the point.
This is the Standard. Okay.
You have point.
Yes. Here we go. Ex-Basena Magasi appointed consul in Paris. High Court judge expresses concern over delay of records of proceedings. And of course, Gambia elected to UN Commission of Population and Development. Inferno renders family homeless in CRR. Chinese embassy celebrates Chinese Language Day. That will be.
Yes. So that is all. Yes. So for here, I think one of the craziest things here has to do with KMC warning against issuance of fake trade license. The fact that, you know, people are quite normal, but can one conclude that there's not enough sensitization when it comes to how one can have a trade license? Because if you go into the story, you would realize that they're even making it clear as to how an individual can obtain a trade license. So what's your take on that?
In my honest opinion, this could not have been possible without the work of an insider.
Right.
So for a fact, someone within the KMC or someone within another organization that is responsible for issuing trade license is being unscrupulous in their dealings and making sure that there are certain activities that are going on without the knowledge of the main admin area of the KMC, and that is where their inquiry should start from.
Right.
Who is this person within our midst that is making sure that licenses are being issued to people, even fake license for that matter, that have not been stamped or authenticated by the KMC as a council. They should look within themselves, find that out, and also work on sensitizing the people more. Because, I mean, it should be general knowledge. If you want to do a business or you want to operate a business, you should, of course, first ask questions as regards how the registration process would go, where you need to go. Is it at the Attorney General's chambers, or is it at the KMC, or is it at the BCC? There are people that would always be there to guide you as regards what to do. But also, if you have unscrupulous people within your midst that are hungry for money, that only want to put money in their pockets, they would, of course, bring these people to their corner, issue the license in an unscrupulous manner, take the money and put it into their pockets, and that's it.
Should we say allegedly?
No, I am just saying generally. I am not specifically saying, but that you know, this particular person. But it is without a doubt that if this is happening, there is the work of an insider in it. That is the only way it is possible. I don't even have to say allegedly for that.
I wonder for how long have this thing been going on, issuing fake license, and if at all, I mean, this is now the time they are realizing that people are issuing fake license, you know. And I think this thing should be controlled in such a way that people should not be able to access such kind of license and issuing it to people.
No, the thing is there are no proper monitoring and evaluation mechanisms in place. You know, so you wouldn't really know who has been issued a correct license and who has not been. There has to be a very good system in place in which you can track all of these activities that are going on. And I commend the KMC for looking in that direction, because they are trying to move away from even collecting cash from people and making sure that everything is done electronically. Whereas payments that are coming in are being recorded to a system, and whoever is responsible would be aware that this payment has come in. This way they are trying to curb corruption in a way. But let's look at, for instance, what happened at the GPA. The corruption scandal that happened, where people were issuing fake receipts as well again. It's a similar scenario in this case. You know? So
the problem
it's just what it is.
Allegedly, right there.
The problem that
you're the journalist here.
The problem that we have in this country, there are always people who are ready to beat the system. Even if you do it electronically, there are people who will still have a way out.
Yeah, but at least electronically we are safer.
Of course you're safer.
We're way safer that way. Where you can go to the bank and get to pay there. It's actually, because right now I don't think institutions should really allow any form of cash, you know, any form of collection of cash.
I agree.
You know, it's dangerous.
I agree. I agree.
It's very, very dangerous.
And even whereas people are making efforts in order to beat the system, there is always a way to, you know, catch whoever is doing it. There is always a way. Let there be proper monitoring and evaluation mechanisms in place, wherein every transaction would be accounted for in that particular institution. That is all it takes. All it takes is that one bright individual who is committed to their job and ensuring that this country is corruption-free. And this is why I think the Anti-Corruption Commission is very important to be set up as soon as possible. This is going to help in curbing all of these corrupt practices that are going on. It could also be an individual outside that is doing it. But in order to put a hand on all of these activities that are going on, one has to be very proactive in their actions and not just lay back waiting for things to come to them. You have to be proactive. You have to be asking questions. Where is this money coming from? Who is paying it? Why are they paying it? What has been given to them in return after paying this money? Right. Have they been issued receipts? Have they been issued invoices? Have pro forma invoices been sent first? What exactly is this transaction meant for? All of these questions have to be answered, and then you can account for that money, who brought it, why they are paying it, and where the money has gone into.
But at the end of the time, Mr. Fall, I mean, who is going to ask all these questions?
I mean, in every institution, it is being run by people.
Yes.
You have the finance manager, you have whoever is auditing, you have the overall boss. So there is a chain of command in every institution you go to, and each and every one of them has a responsibility in order to make sure things are moving in the right direction. So, of course, someone is responsible for making sure that things are going in the right direction. Are they doing it? I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the reason why I ask is, I mean, there is a particular company, a well-known company. There was a time they appointed a managing director. Well, it is alleged that this guy, it's a person who is very responsible, and he was taking care of his duties, you know. But at some point, you know, there was issues, and they sent him away because he was able to at least counter all these corruption that was going on in that department. So people are not happy about that. So they have to cause problems for him, and he left the company.
That will always happen, and this is why I think we have to be very picky when it comes to the people we appoint to certain positions. We need to look at them properly, look at their background, what have they achieved in their former employments, and also see what impact they are going to bring in the new position that they will be giving to. Not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry that you pick from the street that is hungry for money, that is hungry for power, that is hungry for fame, and hungry to be rich. You just bring them and put them into office. All they will be doing is filling their pockets, their bank accounts, and not care, and not head as regards what the Gambian people want or the development of this country. So it's very important that appointments are properly vetted and making sure that they are giving to the people who are very much capable to mandate those
in as
positions.
much as we are talking about the fact that there should be an anti-corruption commission and all of that, you know, it starts from us. I know exactly what you're talking
Attitude.
Who starts there. And the thing is, sometimes if you have some of these very just individuals in these departments, it's the people who don't even want you there. Because they feel that the processes are going to go in accordance with the law. And people do not want that. So in as much as we are fighting for this as well, we have to look inward to also check ourselves.
You know, in every gathering you see, there are people that belong there and people that don't belong there,
right,
even though they find themselves in it. So in every setup, I believe, if there is a system in place, those that belong there, those that are willing to go with the system will always remain. And those that would not would leave at the end of the day,
right,
no matter how long they stay. So it's just about making sure that the system is solid enough to discourage anyone who would want to engage in an unscrupulous activity, and they would live by themselves. They don't even need to be forced out, because the system would be so uncomfortable for them that they will not be able to get whatever they were getting. As a result, they will end up living by themselves. So we need to make sure we empower our systems. We need to make sure we empower the rules and regulations, the organizational culture that we have in place. We need to make sure that they are followed to the letter. And whereas a person fouls either of these, they be brought to book. It is that simple. No compromise at all. It's either you do your job or you leave. How many graduates are roaming the streets that can do far more better job than all of these people that are in high power offices? We have lots of them. You're here, I am here, Balde is here, all the people are here. Why not take people that are capable enough to man these positions? Luñu rey deka bi moy maslaha syndrome bi. We see things happening, they're going in the wrong direction, but we still condone them. Asuma mboka la suma lile, that has to go away if we want to be serious about development, if we are indeed serious about development. Ku bokku ci system bi dafa gëna. Keneen ku mëna ñëw def liggéey mu def liggéey.
I can remember Jenaba asked MS ndax GPU they bite or
not hanga GPU mënu ñoo bite. Why media council bi lay laaj.
Why media council bi. Why, what about system? If we are serious about fighting corruption, well, the authorities that are responsible, they are not biting. They are not biting. This no, millions, you disappear.
But that's the thing. You don't really bite. You don't bite the finger that feeds you.
Some of these institutions are doing their mandate.
Yeah, but this is also why we need to have other people who we trust, independent people who we trust, who would be very unbiased as regards to their dealings, to be able to fish these people out. And we also need the political will there. It's very important. Without the political will, it's not going to work. Because most of these corrupt practices we're hearing are coming from the top. And it requires political will for action to be taken. And whereas the political will is not there, these people will continue manning those positions, continue engaging in scrupulous activities, and then that's it.
Yes. So moving on, the GTU president accuses insurance companies of scam, that is the Gambia Transport Union. So here he's talking about the fact that according to law, victims in insured vehicles should be compensated once an accident happens, but he said this is not happening in the country.
Well, to be honest, I've never heard of an insurance company compensating anyone. I am being honest. I've never really given myself time to look at exactly what it says.
It's something we need to look into.
It is something that we need to look into, because I have a feeling that they're only making money out of the poor, and that's just it.
Yeah, because here he's saying that he doesn't blame the insurance company, but blame the government because they are forcing people to insure their properties. But also, in as much as you're accusing these insurance companies of scam, but you cannot also expect the government to not ask people to insure their cars, because that is also for their own safety. So for me, this should have been that. There should be a regulatory body or an already existing regulatory body where insurance companies should be answerable to when it comes to some of these things, or somewhere where you can file your complaint. But here, I will not agree with my brother here, Omar, that he blames the government because the government is asking people to insure their properties. People need to.
Okay, so when
well,
it comes,
that's how it should be. I mean, that's the right procedure.
When it comes to insuring your properties, you should not even wait to be told to do so.
Exactly.
Because with what insurance is all about, it is for your own safety. But also when it comes to road accidents, you can look at it at a different perspective. Because the insurance company also need to establish facts that indeed one deserves a compensation. So is your vehicle roadworthy in the first instance to be on the road? Because most of these accidents we are seeing, it's as a negligence of the driver, or maybe the truck has been overloaded with goods that are being transported, or some other issue that has to do with the car. So it is your responsibility as the owner of that property to make sure it is properly taken care of, roadworthy, and then if an accident happened in that instance, then the insurance company would be able to establish correct facts to be able to do that compensation for you. So I think it is both ways. It goes both ways, because our public transportation is shitty. For instance, we all know that. You sit in a car, you're uncomfortable for the entire ride.
Yeah.
Wala moto bi mu ngi sahar all the way. Wala hejna bull joint bi génn na. And you want that car so amé accident you compensate ko? No. Sa moto bi mo bon te defaruloo ko, that is your responsibility, not the insurance company's responsibility. Because both of them put insure motor, you told them that the car was in a very good condition. But also I think the insurance companies also should take up the I'm not sure if they do this, but they should also be willing to inspect and make sure that kunyo pur insure dara, they make sure you haul ko bu baha def due diligence to make sure ne exactly luñ la insure lu bah la.
Wow.
I think that is very important, because I see people sit at the comfort of their homes, just make a phone call and the insurance will make a understand? So nothing is really going in the right direction. Dara ne could follow due process. And if things are not going through due process, there is always a likelihood for mistakes to happen. And mistakes to happen, you don't have can blame. Naku to kiram la mu request for insurance, mu ñoo fekk ci ko, wala driver bo xamne ne ko di take care of moto bi, wala insurance company bo xamne dafa bañ pour mu joxe compensation. Can nga blame in this instance?
Wow, because
man nak dama fi ne it's unfair pour nga wax ne hejna government dañ waruñoo wax ni ñu dem insure.
No, that's
dañ wara regulate insurance companies yi ba pare ñu def the measures yi nga wax seet moto yi.
maa ngi gis foofu ne government bi amuñ their own insurance companies.
Waaw loolu yëpp mu ngi ko fi doon waaye yii sa jarul government
at some point Mr. Fall dama gis ne comme noo ko waxee some drivers dañoo insure seen moto yi rek so that the police can get off their back, so that the police like insurance ga won ko rek nga dem. Some don't even know, I mean, insurance company bi dañ la wara fay, because so demé rek ñu jox la cover bi yo nga def ko sa moto police mu ne la insurance nga génné won ko. You think lolu moy njëriñ insurance?
Why? Because of luñ make nit ñi believe
some people will not even go and claim anything suñ amé accident.
Maybe sensitization.
Sometimes fekk yang sa right sa.
Again, you indi waat liggéey civic education council bi ñoom tamit war nañoo dugg ci loolu.
For me, this civic education lan mooy seen responsibility.
To make people aware of how the country is being run.
Anyway, I mean, they talk about constraints. So the political will also has to be there to support
I mentioned this many times. The political will has to be there, and I think they should have a separate budget.
So call all these people, ñi nga xamne ñoo am responsibilities in this country. So then OAF ñu talk. lu ñoo jooy mooy resources so ooyee ñeneen ak ñeneen ñu toog fi they all cry because of resources.
ba pare sometimes ku nekk di wax collective effort so kenn du dee bëgg a take up responsibility ku nekk soo ko laajee rek daf laa ne waaye département bi ak bi ñun ñoo war a ñëw together ñu def lii so all the time chain boobu suy continuer kan mooy take responsibility pour ñu mën a achieve lan.
We just have to be strategic in the way we do things. Try to maximize the most out of the little that we have. Resources will always be not lacking because resources will be available, but they will always not be enough for what you want to do. So you have to maximize the little resource that you have at your disposal, be it human resource, money, whatever it may be, property, it could be the infrastructure. Just maximize it to the best of your ability.
Why there are certain instances when constraints are not there, things cannot move.
Yeah, but
you know,
you should always be monitoring and evaluating whatever you're doing. Then dingamuna identify gaps and fix them where necessary. But we don't do that.
Accompanied by political
maintenance is problem as a country. We don't maintain things. We just establish and then that's it. No one takes care of that system. Can do hall, can do maintenance, can do files and la modefa.
Waaw fogulo lolu tam pour ñu mun ko def. Comme tey bu nekkee ne government bi def nañ dara ñu jël loolu ñu assign ko to somebody ñu ne yow yaa responsible lii because xam nga normally ñun we have a problem public property belongs to nobody I mean ñun yëpp pako moom so kenn du ko control this is what people have
no kenn du ko control waaye am na kenn koo xam ne loolu moo tax ñu ko dee fay salary every month pour mu control ko even though ñun ñëpp suñu responsibility la waaye kenn ñun suñu xaalis bu ñoo fay as tax suñu salary buñ dee deduct every month loolu moo ko dee fay salary pour mu mun a take care of place boobu noonu so why are they not doing it?
Evaluation officers
why they are not doing it and no one is questioning why they are not doing it, no one is firing them for not doing it, no one is replacing them for not doing it. So they continue doing whatever they are doing.
Anyway,
they go to work at 11 o'clock in the morning, sit there, watch movies until 2 p.m. in the evening, in the afternoon rather. Ñu dem añi for 1 hour 30 minutes, 4 o'clock ñu duga seen moto ñu ñibbi. Moto bi ñun ñoo ko fuel, moto bi ñun ñoo ko jënda, pass bi yëpp ñun ñoo ko def.
Anyway, Lamin, thank you so much for joining us. It's always good to have you here.
Always a pleasure.
Looking forward to another engagement.
Yeah,
looking forward to another African proverb. Danka moy japo golosi. Ñay si ñay du ñay de ñay wow. We will go for a short break and when we come back, well in that break we have the story on how the Sukuta market which to this point has been funded by the Gambia Women's Federation and was opened years ago. The market is still struggling to attract both vendors and buyers who prefer to sell and buy elsewhere. Let's take a look at this.
While the space remains unoccupied, market women complain about the lack of safe structures from which to sell. The strategic landscape site, officially called the Gambia Women's Federation Market, located on the outskirts of Burusubi, is left empty. We are told that during the first phase of construction, a few vendors used to sell in the stalls. However, that was cut short during the rainy season, as the place gets inundated with water, making access a difficulty for both vendors and buyers alike. Binta Kujabi and Sirakuli, both market vendors, are among the few that occupy the desolated facility when it was under construction a few years ago. After witnessing how the newly constructed market became inundated with water during rainy season, stopping buyers as it became unsafe, they chose instead to erect stalls in front of the market gate to continue earning a living. We are appealing to the government to investigate the issue of this market because it is in a strategic location. Let them help us as petty trading is our livelihood.
Li taxaw ni ci cantine ak table jamono yaay jëmme moko fa defon waye légui fu mu tollu ni.
The market construction started since Jammeh's time. The bare ground, which is unpaved, stops us from operating. We have been pleading with the government to help complete the structure so the women can come here and do their business. If this market was completed, it would boost the economy. Despite officially opening in 2016, the uncompleted enormous space, with over 400 structures including boutiques and stalls, toilets, is left void of occupants. Maria P.H. Dacosta, interim president of the Gambia Women's Federation, says the halt in completion is due to a lack of funds.
We've written proposals to different institutions, both internal and externally, even the head of state. There was a visit that was done to him during the early days of the transition. This was followed, I think, sometime last year with a proposal that was requested by one of his administrative secretaries. And we submitted a whole proposal. Our key area of concentration is to get the landscaping.
Maria D'Acosta says women have been yearning to operate in the market.
All who have the interest of women at heart, whether male or female philanthropists, Gambians, including the government for that matter, we are calling them to come, because people would come, look at the place and make promises. And you know, we are very good in making promises.
Meanwhile, we contacted the Birkama Area Council to shed light on what plans, if any, there are for the market, but they say the market is not under their jurisdiction. The market has over 350 stalls, over 25 toilets, concrete tables and chairs. In addition, part of the market plan when completed was to have a small mall, running water, storage facilities, an ice plant, electricity, paved concrete internal pathways.
Security. Unfortunate situation there at the Sukuta market, a Sukuta empty market. Let's put it that way. It is. Thank you so much for joining us, Fatiju from the Gambia Women's Federation. So how are you dealing with the current situation as a federation?
Very critical. Because this market, as you see, has been funded by women themselves. The members of the federation who opted to get subs that they will do their daily businesses. We as an association came together the very moment that we started declaring of the market to strategize to see how we will acquire funds to kickstart the project. There was nobody to help us. But at that instant, the women gathered over there that day just decided to say, why not ask every woman interested in a shop to make a deposit of 10,000? And that was how we kick-started the project. So people started having interest on the shops and paying in their deposits of 10,000. Wow. Then Tilang contract. Can I?
Well, sure. More gonna am solo because I affair market la. Wow.
Silay helat ne comme amuñ ndimbal nañ laajte suñ boppa ñu ne ndimbal na ca fekka loxol borom so ñun ñu commencé ko suñ boppa laajte ay $10,000 jigéen yi kontaan si xam nga jigéen rek ak pas-pasam ak lim buga since wax nañ ne soo demee si yeneen marché yi ñu bari dañ ko dominate góor yi ñoo ko dominate because jigéen yi dinañ apply dem ba si digga ñu tere leen duñ am ay kanting so góor yi rek ñoo dee occupy so ñu seet ne segem góor yi rek lañ dee mun a jox access to ñu am pour ñuy jaaye si market si nañ try ñu utal suñ boppa si lañ contact the former president Yaya Jammeh time boobu under the directives of the former executive director of the Women's Bureau Aida Faye Haidara ak the then deputy speaker of the house Mrs. Fatou Mbye ak Fatou Mataja who was the former president of the fédération ak yeneen jigéen yu bari ñu am solo si fédération bi dem gis the president mu allocate ñu that area. So we decided to start the construction. Whether we have it from someone or not, let's try to do it ourselves. So noonu la marché bi affaire am ñëwee noonu la commencé. So léegi biñ ko commencé di collect ay 10,000 di tabax ba ñu dem at a point where we got stuck. Mënatuñ woon a dem because laajte nañ jigéen ñi fay nañ ba pare liñ ci mun a liggéey nañ ko fa càng nañ so ñu commencé di binda ay proposals di laajte si ñeneen ñi nga xam ne yaakaar nañ ne dinañ ñu mun a jàppale noonu ñu come in contact with there was a person on one of the newspapers ñu gis ne agriculture their first day project am na foo xam ne dinañ dee dimbale on infrastructural work so si lañ dal dee jóg man ak suma collègue Anti Awa Faye ñu dem fast dep waxtaan ak ñoom and they took it seriously. They came the following week rek si lañ start ñëw def seen assessment lifin ko naka la tudda def bit waaw def seen survey invite contractors. So noonu la mbir mi ñëwee first dañu njëkk a fensal the area the whole perimeter lañ fence ñu jógee si boobu suñ phase 3 bi fekk na tabax yi rek tabax nañ ko up to lento waaye li koy jekkali roofing beeg everything peinture bi plastering yëpp
ñu def
ñoom ñoo ñu ko defal dugal bunta yi yëpp ba pare waya nañ si biir yëpp that is the phase 3 side waaw boobu yëpp waya nañ ko so léegi ñun suñ problème mooy
waaw
the majors
waaw foofu lañ bugg a dugal
electricity number 1 2 the access road soo ko seetloo si bi ma gis si vidéo bi access road si from the main gate to the stalls foog naa na nekk like 2 mais benn bi rek la ñoo use fu mu nekk nii waaye but there are other two gates yoo xam ne di nga mun a am quick access pour nga duga waaw léegi loolu moom munta nekk jigéen yi fa nekkoon moom ngay gis ñooñu nekk si biti they were inside several others were also inside understand nga waaye su taw bi jotee there is no way you can get into that market no way so da nga gis ne customer yu ndaw yiñ daan am dañ dee mun a ñëw time boo xam ne taw amut they will come waaye taw bi su jotoo moom kenn mun a tudda dugga understand nga so si lañ ñëw appeal ñu ne ñoom comme mënuñoo dem fenn amoon feñ fu noo war a dem ndax mun nañ leen a alaaw ñu def mbaar boobu noonu si biti su ko defee affaire bi dina gën a yomba pour ñi nga xam ne dinañ bugg a ñëw pour jënda so that is why we allowed them to stay outside waaye du loolu rek tamit tombe comme contractors yi ñu ngi waroon a def slabs yi comme fu ñoo war a teg seen vegetables also so loolu moo tax those two things are the reasons why they were allowed to sell outside.
So at that time, Yaya Jammeh moom land bi rek la leen jox.
Land bi la
moom defutoon any building.
Déedéet buildut.
moom daf leen just allocate land.
buildut waaye at one point.
fanaa loolu dañ ko war a leeral.
waaw déedéet moom joxut ñu liñ tabaxee. liñ tabaxee is purely from deposits from the women.
mooy 10,000.
mooy 10,000.
so nga ne at some point.
At some point bi ñoo commencé mayoon nañu xaalis.
ok
mayoon nañu xaalis Yaya Jammeh mayoon nañu xaalis waaye xaalis boobu. ñu ngi ko spend on the launching of the National Federation because dañ ko def nationwide. dañ ko def nationwide I can't remember but it was like a week or two. nga xam ne dañ jógee fii to the length and breadth of the country dem si jigéen yi form suñ structures yi and ak the former vice president.
so danga ma wax ne right now ne. National Women's Federation bi lu tax mu juddu mooy market bi ngeen propose nii
waaw boobu bokk na si boobu bokk na si market bi bokk na si because dangaa gis ne ci fédération bi mu ngi consist of all women from all walks of life ak seen diverse businesses so jigéen yi yëpp ñu ngi si loolu ñu xalaat ne balaa kii di def fii kii di def fii kii di def fii why not ñu ut benn place boo xam ne ñun ñëpp dinañ fa mun a nekka su ko defee ku yëngu si business bi mun naa ñëw supply ku nekka si marché bi ku yëngu si agriculture comme ñu ngi amoon tamit a company that we opened to cross groundnut to oil waa ñi su ko defee ñi nga xam ne ñu nge cultivate naka la tudda groundnut bu ñoree am nañ contacts with the groundnut oil company ñu indi ko ñu nal ko delloo waat leen ko jënd ko si ñoom delloo waat leen ko ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi business outside ñi nga xam ne ñu ngay jaay si marché bi ñu jaayaat andi
léegi dama bëggoon na xam marché bi gis nañ ne bu nekkee ne yëpp dox na dafa nekk marché bu quality yëpp dafa nekk marché bu baax waaye léegi what are the steps loo leen nekk di def pour ñu mun a jekkali foofu so that people can move in marché bi mun a nekk bu bëri nit
mooy li ma wax nii proposals bind nañ ko everywhere ñu ngi laajte si ñi nga xam ne tamit yaakaar nañ ne dinañ ñu mun a dimbale loolu ñu ngi koo def because fu mu nekk nii mënatuñoo dellu si ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo fay pour bitig yi ba pare parce que exhaust nañ si ñoom li ñu am ba pare so laajte rek ñaan when it comes to the worst te ñaanuñ ko yàlla xaj na loolu it's just me saying that mun naa am executive bi dina ñëw with a plan either to lease out part of land bi fa nekka waaye nag ci pipeline bi land bi des ci kanam dañ ko fa bàyyi to build a shopping mall
waaw waaye Anti Fatou bëgg naa la te gis nañ ne GCCI ñoo fi taxawal anything loo xam ne moo am pour def ak business ma bëgg a xam seen jokkuwante tamit ak GCCI ndax toog ngeen a ñoom ngeen wax leen situation bi ak ñoom lan mooy seen tontu
waaw demoon nañ fa nag it was a long time nag demoon na fa waxtaan nañ ko teg nañ ci table bi woon ne time boobu Mr Seka moo fa nekka explain nañ leen suñ constraints waaye after that meeting nag ñëwatuñ woon am another with them to be frank
so maybe GCCI suñ leen mën engage yooyu ak ay téléthon tamit nekk na loo xam ne sometimes daf dee work pour yii nii there are other means yi nga xam ne xëj na du fi em rek dinañ mun a make sure ne market bi ñu use ko pour the right purpose because structures yi moom macha allah baax na torop waaw very solid buildings te pour ñu bàyyi ko noonu mu ñaaka baax boobu du baax waaye xëj na ku bëgg a support o ku leen bëgg a jot naka la mën a jotee
waaw mun nañoo jot si 996 0022
waaw amu leen QCell
am naa QCell
waaw joxel QCell number bi
331 2022
331
2022
331 2022
waaw
waaye fi mu nekk nii mi tangu leen current président yi GCCI bi de
ak 390
waaw
4384
waaw waaye current président yi GCCI bi moom toogangu leen ak moom
déedéet tooganguñ ak kooku
waaw kon
so comme xam naa comme waxtaan bi nuñ ko waxtaanee nii tey
waaw
mun naa su ma demee baak wax ko suma interim président ba defee ñu uti yoon tamit pour dem waxtaan ak the current president inshallah
waaw current president of the GCCI ak ñeneen there are different ways yi nga xam ne mun ngeen a really saafaraal li téléthon yaa ngi fi GoFundMe yaa ngi fi léegi fu mu nekk nii jóg la rek wax comme tey noo leen ko defee yàlla dogal na rek fii la war a dooree te ñu ngi ñaan mu continuer pour su ko defee
waaw te marché boobu noonu sax su demee ba mu dox loolu njëriñ la si réew mi njëriñ la si ñëpp ba pare Jenaba man daf ma nekkal dama bëgg bi nga xam ne jigéen yaa jóg ñu mun a taxaw ba def structure bu mel noonu man bu ma fa rombe dama fogoon ne government ba sampa marché bi you know I'm surprised to know ñoom ñoo ko def waaye tam doo si in another way doo mun a surprise because comme nuñ taxawee foog gaay mun a def loolu noonu waaye how effective is your federation?
It was very the beginning time waxtu bi ñoo commencé dëgëroon na trop amoon na doole amoon nañ kaddu waaye dafa dem ba si digga rek xam nga Gambia ak politics things were being politicized so nga gis ne fiñ grip woon to at least suñ objectif si fu ñu mun a jot ci li nga xam ne loolu lañ éene woon was a little bit
ba pare dafa am duplication of efforts bu bëri Anti Fatou bu nekk si yéen seen xëj na si yëngee naa yëngu macha allah baax na waaye gis nañ ne fédération bi mu ngi fi beneen fédération beneen yëpp si jigéen soo foog naa ñëw together tamit am na solo waaye xam naa dinañ la invitaat fii nii programme boo xam ne bu affaire yi fédération bi rek ngay wax waaw waaye suma outfit bi is provided by Adjas Modesty Ibrahima 3514534 3514534 Adjas Modesty Fatou war ngaa doxantu foofu de waaw baax na till we come your way next week with another interesting program. Bye bye.
yelloo na ndox mu set te ndox mu set dafa bokk ci dunni doomu aadama te biir kat amul seetu waral na lépp lu fay dugg dafa war a doon li nga xamante ne ni lu indil doomu aadama bi loraange ci wàllu wérgu yaram One Stop Water Solution Limited ñu ngi fii ci biir réew taxaw temm fexe pour gis ne doomu aadama bu ne di nga naan ndox moo xamante ne ni ndex mu sell te wóor la ndax indil nañ leen ay xeetu filtres yi nga xamante ne ni mun ngeen koy jëfandikoo ci seeni pompe yi ci biir réew moo xam booxool ngay jëfandikoo wala pompe nawek yi ne bépp xeetu filtre bi nga xamante ne ni dina la indil wérgu yaram musal la ci loraange amal nañ leen ko ci biir réew am nañ 10-inch filter set of 3 bii nag ñett lay àndal bu ci ne ak li muy liggéey bokk na ci 5 micron pp sediment filter bii nag mooy segg ndox mi ba mu set génne fa lépp li nga xamante ne ni warta ànd ak ndox moomu bala nga koy jëfandikoo gak granule carbon filter bii nag mooy segg génne lépp lu xeetoog chemical ak organique yi nga xamante ne ñoom ñoo nekk ci biir ndox mi sellal ndox mi ba waral mu soppi li nga xamante ne moom la ndox mi di saf mu soppi cafin gi def ko ndox mu sell te óor CTO block carbon filter bii nag du yem rek ci segg ndox mi sellal ko ba mu sell waaye nag daf koy yokk ay ngéneel yi nga xamante ne ni day baax ci wérgu yaramu doomu aadama bi dëgëral waaye tamit yàggal lool sa yuur wi am nañ tamit 12-inch filter set of 3 boobu it liggéey bu nu mel lay def ñetti filter yépp benn bu ne ak lu muy liggéey am nañ 10-inch post carbon 10-inch coconut carbon 75 GPD pure one membrane bi amal nañ leen bépp xeetu water tank tàmbalee ko ci 500 litres 5000 ba ci 1000 litres ak plumbing fittings kon nag mbokk yi bu ngeen buggee naan ndex yu sell te wóor seeti leen One Stop Water Solution Limited suñu makkaan bu mag baa nga foofa ca Sukuta highway Mariama Kunda Johnson wala nga call ñu ci 505 5691 796 8272 One Stop Water Solution Limited ndox mu set mooy yàggal dund ni doomu